So Christmas is upon us, and it's such a beautiful time of the year. One of my favorite time of the year. And in lieu of what Christ has done for us, I believe it's also good to extend that love to everyone around. And I'll be giving three stocks that I believe personally should and might do well in 2026. Now, before we go into the full details, two things majorly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And this helps the YouTube algorithm give or spread the video to other people who might also need them. Don't be stingy. It's Christmas. And secondly, we have a community of like-minded people talking about stocks. We have monthly classes. We have books we read. We have stocks we discuss. And if we see an opportunity that looks amazing or looks enticing, we tend to analyze it together and work on it together. So it's not free, but it's worth it. And the link will be dropped in the description below. And if you're really interested, don't hesitate to hit us up. We're here for you. Now to the main video. Here are three stocks I believe should do well in 2026. Now, don't take my word for it. I'm just a random guy on the internet with a Father Christmas cap. But these are stocks I think might do well. You might need to consult your financial advisor for further details on this and before making your decision. Here we go.
Failure is not an option. Which is fine by me because I do not intend to fail. I vow to do the opposite of fail.
You mean
So the number one stock on our list today is PayPal. I hate to say this, but personally, I'm not a fan of PayPal. I have quite a terrible history with them in receiving payments and a few other things around freelancing, and it's a bittersweet experience. I won't like to go into the details, but personally, I really don't like PayPal as a company. But in stocks, there comes a time where you have to separate your emotions with what you can see. I have a bias against PayPal, but I can't deny some of the things that makes them a great investment to look out for in 2026. And before I go into what I see, PayPal is currently worth, at least at the time of this recording, is worth about 55 billion US dollars and is priced at $59 per share. Now, over to what I think I see in PayPal that makes them a very good opportunity. They don't really count now, but things like free cash flow starts to count very soon. PayPal is expected to have about 5 billion to 6 billion in free cash flow in 2025, and that means a lot. And beyond that, there are proposals around them using it to execute share buybacks, and there are rumors around a dividend or dividend offering around that. So we have seen a glimpse of the share buyback in 2025. Like Peter Lynch said, he said there are 1,000 reasons why a company sells the stock or members of the board of directors of a company sell shares in the company, but there's only one reason why they buy. Yeah, so when you have people executing a share buyback, there's only one reason, and we don't want to tell you. Yeah, so apart from that, PayPal is already launching up their proposals around a PayPal bank. Now we have seen them going to stablecoin. Now with the bank, it's not hard to see where this is going. Yeah, so there was like a turnaround in 2024, and it's expected to continue in 2025 through 2026. And Venmo is one of the major players in that. Now they have other companies around that's also contributing to revenue. I would like to go into those details, but I feel PayPal is what's it called, primed for a run up. So yeah, that's it. You have the PayPal stock number one on our list. Now, if you know PayPal, you probably would not know the second stock on our list. Now, the second stock on our list is a company that thrived well during the green rush of the 2021 thereabouts, and it's a company called Grow Generation. Now, Grow Generation is different from brands like Tilray, Aurora, and CGC in that while these other companies produce or they cultivate the cannabis themselves, Grow Generation is into hydroponics, supply of hydroponics equipment. Now, what this means is instead of having acres of land of cannabis, Grow Generation creates a system where you can cultivate in-house, indoors. So basically, they supply the equipment, the lightnings, the soils, the artificial nutrients, organic nutrients, just stuff like that. The culture, yeah, to make cannabis growing like successful indoors without a large expanse of land. And yeah, so why do I think they are poised to grow in 2026? Now, the first thing on our list is the rescheduling from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. Now, cannabis was put under Schedule 1 with hemp and a few other very addictive substances, but its use in the medicinal space has helped it get the attention of Trump in bringing it down to Schedule 3. Now, Schedule 3 does not mean it is not addictive, but it just means it's less addictive than Schedule 1. And what that basically means from the federal perspective is lower taxes, and GRWG should see or should benefit from that. We might not start seeing it reflecting their balance sheets as at yet, but I believe 2026 will start seeing the effects of the rescheduling, more profits, maybe not much to do with revenue, but yeah, it has a lot to do with their profits. And so beyond rescheduling, the company is moving away or slightly away from cannabis into specialty plants. And to be very honest, I really don't know what that means fully. I won't go into much details about that because I'm not really sure what that means. And I'm being honest with you. But from the sentiments from their last earnings call, it felt people were quite okay and quite good with the innovation. Now, beyond that, Grow Generation has pivoted from being just a middleman in the cannabis space to being a major manufacturer. Now, like other companies in the cannabis group, they have sub companies under them. For CGC, we have this Stoltz and Britzel now. So for Go Generation, we have Chacoy and Drip Hydro. Yeah, I hope I'm right. Chacoy and Drip Hydro. So and that accounts for those accounts for about 37% of their revenue. Now they have moved from being middlemen, like I said earlier, to being manufacturers, and that is progress within 4 years. That is a lot of progress. I also see some cost optimization. Now I don't want to say this is specific to Grow Generation because we see other companies like Tilray and Aurora and even CGC try to cost optimize, but I'll still mention it as one of the positives for 2026. Now, Go Generation is cutting down or closing stores that are underperforming. So the cost optimization is one of the things in the books, and beyond that, we also have expansion into international markets. Now, the US is not the only country that cannabis is not legalized or is heavily regulated. We have several other countries across Europe, but most of these countries or some of these countries are already opening up to the use of it both for recreational use and for medicinal use. Now, Growth Generation is moving into some of these companies. We see them around Germany, around I think Italy, if I'm right. So we see them moving to these countries just to expand and increase their revenue. I think that's a positive. Now that is stock number 2 on our 3 list of stocks I'm watching for 2026. Now we are in the third and final stock in this video of the stocks we believe, or I believe, will do well in 2026. And this is somehow controversial. Controversial in the sense that I was lucky enough to miss out on the rise and subsequent fall around 2020, 2021. And many people lost a fortune during that season, which probably come from my head if they hear this talk. But oftentimes, or like I said during PayPal, we have to leave personal bias, we have to leave history. If it's an opportunity we believe would do well, just go for it. So you have to speak to a financial advisor. Even if you just have to for this. And the stock in question is Fuel Cell. Now, before you shout, I understand that the company with one of his companies was also called Plug, PLUG. They have sent many people back to the village. But let me just explain what I'd seen Fuel Cell. Now, the first thing I see in Fuel Cell is simple. We are in the AI age, and contrary to public opinion, personally, I think we are not yet at the climax. We are not yet in a bubble yet. There are some signs, but like in the 2008 crash, the signs were there from about 2006, 2007, thereabouts. So I believe we are still in the quote unquote 2006 era of the AI bubble. We still have a couple of years more to go, 2, 3, 4, maybe. But again, this is just the opinion of a guy on the internet. So why do I see Fuel Cell doing well? The major issues the AI industry faced in the last year or in the current year, which is still 2025, is energy. And despite the huge data centers built, despite the huge energy projects and all that, there's still this huge shortage of energy. So I am betting on energy being one of the most coveted stocks or one of the most coveted sectors in 2026. And everybody is trying to look at nuclear, which is quite valid. It's a very proposition, a valid way to look at nuclear. I'm just taking the contrarian position to look at hydrogen energy. which is one of the major things used by Fuel Cell. Now, Fuel Cell is a company that has been beaten and battered and is making a comeback. Hopefully, it can. But a revenue of 41% more than 2024 is not something to um, lay aside. Now, the company is still trying to come back. It is still a lot under the water, but that's major progress. 41% revenue in 2025, at least so far proposed, above 2024. And so beyond that, also the company is ending 2025 with almost 1.2 billion dollars worth of backlog, contract backlog, and yeah, for a company that is making about say 150 thereabouts million in revenue, that's they might not meet up all the demand, but just the 10% of that, and they have already met up 2025 targets. So I believe we should see some good revenue increase next year, and hopefully the market opens up to it. Beyond that, also the company has huge cash position. For a company of that size, having about 300 thereabouts million dollars in cash is a positive. Now the other things that I see that I won't want to say publicly, but I believe Fuel Cell is one of the companies that should do well in 2026. And again, there are two companies that had similar run up and run down, Fuel Cell and Plug. There's a reason why I believe in Fuel Cell more than I believe in Plug. Both companies can do well in 2026, very likely, but just my personal preference from what I can see. Now that brings us to the end of the three stocks that I believe personally you should be looking at in 2026. It's a Christmas bonus to you, and hopefully we get results. First, we have PayPal, currently valued at 55 billion US dollars at a price of $59 per share. We have Grow Generation, currently valued at about 100 million US dollars at a price of about 1.6. Then we also have Fuel Cell, currently valued at about 422 million US dollars at a price of about 8.2. And so those are the three companies. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Then let us know in the comment section. Do you have any stock you feel will do well in 2026? We'd like to hear your opinion. Let's brainstorm together. See you in the next video. Cheers.